Michael, and my topic is going to be to talk about capital punishment and the effect it has. The theory is this one. The theory behind the deterrence effect in capital punishment is that it's justified because by executing convicted murderers, we will deter would-be murderers from killing people. That's the theory. So I'm giving you one point to defend it. There may be also some more points to defend it, like some people who think that they deserve to die because of the punishment, the proportionate punishment they deserve. And it's also a way to provide closure and vindication for the victims, for the families of the victims. But we all know that in theory and practice are the same, but in practice they're not. For to be a deterrent, the punishment must be immediate. Like when a child doesn't behave, you have to punish the child immediately, so the kid can learn the lesson. And also, we are living in a society where the death is hidden, that dying is clean, that people die in hospitals, that they don't even suffer, so the death penalty doesn't have the same effect that it had maybe 100 years ago. Also, my opponent could point out that there are some statistics saying that, okay, that deterrence effect may work, but that's not the truth. In fact, the opposite may be true. There are a lot of studies proving that it doesn't have any deterrent effect. And those studies that say that it has, they have a lot of mistakes, and if you correct the mistakes and you do the proper statistical analysis and use the same methodology with the same data, you get that it doesn't have the deterrent effect that they're looking for. You can take the case of California, that they had a less murder rate when they didn't have the death penalty on the state than when they did have. And we can also consider that some capital crimes are committed in such an emotional state that the perpetrator did not think about the possible consequences. So it doesn't matter if it has a deterrent effect or not, because it's not going to consider the punishment, because it's going to be not thinking rationally at the time it's committing the crime. But by the standard society of the democratic, in most countries that they don't use the death penalty, we could say that life imprisonment without parole has better deterrent results than the capital punishment itself. Yet capital punishment continues to be used in the United States, despite controversy over its merits and over its effectiveness as a deterrent to serious crime. Thankfully, 15 states in the United States already are against death penalty, and there are judges in the Supreme Court that believe that capital punishment is unconstitutional. So it may be a matter of time that this will be abolished. There are only statistics to prove that it is applied in a racially discriminatory manner, but you cannot prove that they're doing that on purpose. So it is not fair, it has a mistake. So even if it would work as a deterrent, it's not working properly, because also in the last 35 years, 130 inmates were found to be innocent due to the new techniques like DNA and such. They were proven to be innocent and they were released of the death row. Most of experts in criminology, in justice, and lawyers, they don't believe that it has a proven deterrent effect. And I firmly believe that one of the problems may be that there are a lot of firearm-related deaths in the United States comparing to, for example, 25 of the other industrialized countries in the world. If we combine all of them and we compare with the United States, there are 12 times higher rates of heat-related deaths or accidents, and homicide is 16 times higher in the United States, and suicide is 11 times higher. So there must be something wrong. There's some violence in the United States that makes it happen more often. It doesn't have anything to do with the penalty or not. It's a matter of culture, education, or of loving weapons or arms or violence, or I don't know why. Because in most foreign countries, gun control laws are more restrictive, and gun owners are assigned more responsibility. And I'm going to give you only one statistic. There are 17,000 murders a year in the United States. And if we combine Britain, Australia, and Canada, there are only 300. So it's like 20, proportionally, it's 20 times more. And those countries, they have a lot of weapons too. So it's not only a matter of have access to guns, it's something else, the violence in the United States. I'm going to show you a map to finish this. These are the countries that the blue ones, they don't have the death penalty. The yellow ones, they don't use it, even they have it. And the red ones, the United States with everybody else, with those countries, they have you are in the same group as North Korea, Iran, Pakistan, Cuba, Libya, Lebanon, Saudi Arabia, Sudan, and the list goes on and on and on. This is not a list I would like to be a part of. So I firmly believe that with due time, the death penalty will be revoked and abolished from the United States. Thank you very much.
The capital punishment is clearly the greatest deterrent for committing crime, the loss of life that people fear the most. A man by the name of Isaac Ehrlich, an economist at the University of Buffalo in 1977, introduced regression analysis as a tool for examining the deterrent issue. Derived several theoretical propositions proceeding an increase is perceived probability of apprehension, conviction given apprehension, or execution given conviction, and reduce an individual's incentive to commit murder. Ehrlich and authors test these propositions use several economic and demographic variables. And demographic characteristics such as population, density, age, race, gender, all enter this analysis. This kind of analysis produced results showing that for every inmate executed, there was around 7 murders that were averted. The statistics may be inconclusive. The society has the highest interest in preventing murder, should be the strongest punishment available to deter murder, and that is the death penalty. 3 groups of people: murderers who are deterred from committing crime again. Murderers are deterred because they could be caught, punished, and be executed. Fear of loss of life. Others are inmates who are in prison and are sentenced to life without possibility of parole. What is causing, or what incentive do they have from not committing more violent crimes while behind bars? Without the death penalty, there's no other punishment you can give them. The third is the person who is executed. It deters them, they're stopped from going out and committing more violent crimes, like murder. Some stats are in 1960 in the U.S., there were 56 executions and 9,140 murders. In 1964, there were 15 executions and 9,500 murders. In 1969, there were no executions, and the murder rate rose to 15,000. Between 1965 and 1980, the number of annual murders in the U.S. jumped from 9,900 to 23,000, roughly 131% increase. For example, everyone knows that Texas is the #1 state for executing people, and their county, which prosecutes the most death penalty cases, is Harris County, around the Houston area. In 1992, the number of Harris County murders dropped from 701 to 241, a 72% increase. This is due to the stop of Furman versus Georgia in 1972 Supreme Court case that ruled capital punishment as cruel and unusual punishments. But you can see that as the number of executions went down, the number of murders in the U.S. rose. It shows that people were actually deterred from committing more violent crimes when they know that they could be sentenced to death.